Mike Bohn here in Los Angeles with Aaron Pico on the verge of Bellator 286 where he fights Jeremy Kennedy. And Aaron, you just made weight not too long ago. How was the cut? How are you feeling?
I feel really good. I feel a lot better than I did a few hours ago, but the cut went well, and I'm happy, so everything is good.
Do you have it down to like a science at this point? I'm sure through the wrestling career and then MMA, is it hard? Is it easy? How would you describe the cuts these days?
No, to be honest with you, I think Coach Cal with the training lab has it down to a science. So I just follow directions really well, do what he tells me, and it usually, I mean, it's obviously a little bit of work, but it's not a drastic weight cut. It's just 2.5 months of a pretty strict running program, eating program. Everything is dialed in, but I feel good now, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, you obviously started the career at 55, and you've been at 45, pretty much ever since. Do you see yourself still being a young guy, being back up there one day, or do you think this is pretty much going to be the home for the whole career?
No, I think 155 is kind of out of the question right now. Maybe later down the road, but the advice I was given to go up to 155, I think that was absolutely horrible advice, and I'm a 145er. I look at the 155ers, me compared to them, the big guys. It was just stupid for me to go 155, and featherweight is perfect for me, so I'm happy.
Obviously, a big fight here with Jeremy Kennedy. What do you feel the stakes are? I mean, I know you've done some interviews talking about potential title shots after this. Do you feel like, looking at the main event here, a title fight, are you kind of set up perfectly to be fighting the winner of Pitbull and Borks?
I think so. That's what they've been telling me, and that's what a lot of the buzz has been around, is people have been telling me the winner of this fights for a world title. But I really try not to pay too much attention to it. I know it's there, and I got to get through this fight, and I think it puts me in the best position to fight for a title, and that's my dream. But I have a tough task at hand tomorrow night, and that's all I'm focused on.
Don't want to disregard it, but I guess one question. You do look at that main event. Who do you think would be the better person for you to challenge? Obviously, Pitbull, a lot of people consider him, the Bellator GOAT, the featherweight GOAT in this division for this company, but obviously you have the history with Borks. So what do you think would be the better fight for you?
I don't know. I think I go back and forth. There's some days that I want to take out the king of the featherweight division, Pitbull. And there's also times I want to get revenge. I don't know. I think if I was writing a perfect story to win a belt from a guy that's beaten you is probably a really good feeling. But also on the flip side, to take out the champion would be probably even better. So I don't know. All I can do is focus, and wherever the cards fall, I'll take it.
Given your trajectory, I'd imagine you probably fight them both by the end of the day, right, when it happens. So, yeah, I'm curious about your preparation for this fight. I was talking to your coach, Brandon Gibson. He said you were working a lot with Carlos Condit, and I'm curious how that came together. Obviously, Carlos is retired, so was that something you asked for, that he set up? How did that come together?
Yeah, I think Carlos and Coach Gibson are very, very good friends. They're like brothers, and I just needed a little bit of a change. And I said, hey, listen, I want to. There's some things that I'm looking to learn, and I think Carlos can really help me with it. And I did. I started working with him 2-3 days a week, and one-on-one privates, and it's been great. He's shown me a lot. He's a legend, and I look forward to continuing working with him after this fight.
You gonna see some vicious elbows in this fight then?
Yeah. I love to throw elbows, and that's something that Greg has instilled in me, and Carlos is just showing me little positions to get to really make somebody's life miserable on the ground. So I look forward to using that.
I saw Tony Ferguson was in Albuquerque as well. Did you get the chance to work with him much?
I drilled with him a little bit, and I didn't really do much with him just because he was just so much bigger than me, so we didn't spar or anything like that. We wanted to be smart. But like I said, I'm really happy with what I'm super proud of is that when Tony came in, he wasn't a big leaguer or anything like that. He really took his time to show amateurs things and show up-and-comers new moves, and he really did. He would spend an hour and a half just showing the moves. If somebody asked him a question, he would answer it. And he's a really humble guy, and I'm really happy that I met him. And the team, everybody at the gym was so excited when he walked in. They're like, oh shit, it's Tony Ferguson. He's a legend. And I'm really happy to see how he conducted himself and how he showed everybody everything, and it was cool.
This must just be so invaluable to you at this stage of your career. And Brandon also told me that Jon Jones gave you a call at one point this week to kind of give you some fight week guidance. Can you share a little bit of that conversation?
No, you just said winners win. Go out there and win. We expect you to win. It's as simple as that. Don't put too much thought into I'm going to do this. No, just go out there and win. Do your job. And I really like Jon Jones a lot. He's really showed me a lot of cool moves. And sometimes he'll be on FaceTime and watch me hit pads and give me a little advice here. And I'm very thankful for the knowledge. I mean, he's the greatest of all time. There's no doubt about it, you know.
That must be pretty special for you, man. I mean, at some point, like, how do you kind of internalize like all these legends that we're just mentioning who are coming to you and they clearly want to guide you in the right direction?
Well, I'm very thankful that my coaches have been around the best in the world. For example, Greg Jackson has been around GSP. Brandon's been around Jon Jones. So I am not afraid to ask them questions about how does Jon handle this situation when he's doing a lot of media, just for example, you know. And they say, well, Jon usually does this, and then, you know, George would do this. And I kind of take a little bit of that and a little bit of this and kind of make it my own. Everybody's different. And I'm just not afraid to ask questions because I don't have this figured out. And they're obviously doing something right, so if any advice I can get, I try to take it.
It should be. And last thing I wanted to ask you about, there's a lot of people drawing parallels between you and Bo Nickal. Obviously, we've seen Bo on the Contender Series and now being signed with the UFC very early in his career, but a lot of hype. What do you kind of think about his trajectory? Do you, see a lot of parallels between where you guys are entering mixed martial arts?
I think so. I really like Bo Nickal a lot. I've been on 3 world teams with him. I wrestled a lot, and I think he's going to be a champion one day. And what I like most about him is that his work ethic is unbelievable. He works with my strength and conditioning coach and nutritionist, Sam Calif. And if you are a part of that program, it is one of the hardest things that you'll ever do in your life. It is so rigorous. It's so you have to be disciplined. You have to have a good team around you to be able to cook the meals and get the recovery and this and that. And I think he's on the right track. And what I'm really, really happy about is that his family is probably, you know, they're good people. My dad traveled with his dad, and I met his mom, and he's got a solid family around him. And I think that's really important, especially being young, the hype that's behind him. He's not going to get distracted. That guy is going to be, if anybody can beat Hamza right now, I really think Bo Nickal can do it. And then people think I'm crazy, but he's a very good wrestler.
Do you feel like that's something that could happen today, or when you hear him say that, you're like, hey, slow your roll a little bit, get him maybe a little more fights under your belt, and then go for something like that?
No, I think probably a few more fights, but I don't think it's going to take him long. I really don't. The way that I know that he's wired, he's going to really figure out what he needs to do. Obviously, he's just striking and stuff like that, but his if you put Hamza and you put Bo Nickal in a wrestling match, Bo Nickal would tech him. Literally, there would be no contest, and people would say, well, if you had Hamza and you had Bo Nickal wrestle, it would be an easy day for Bo Nickal. So he just needs to do a little, brush up on certain things, get some more experience. I don't think he should rush it, and he'll be ready.
That's great insight. And last question here: how do you want to get it done on Saturday night? Do you feel like Jeremy Kennedy is a guy you can put away? Do you feel like he's going to make it tough for all 3 rounds? What are you kind of envisioning here?
Well, I think I believe I can put away anybody with the power that's in me, but that's not something that I'm really searching for. If I need to wrestle him, I'll do that. If I need to stay on my feet, I can do that. And that's the beauty about how well-rounded I am. And I just got to let the fight happen and take what he gives me and put the pressure on.